welcome back to my channel. You know, I feel like we've all been there. It's close to the end of the year. We have 3 more months left, and you know, we see that Goodreads goal, right? We see that Goodreads goal and notice, damn, I'm nowhere close to what my goal is. Okay? And I understand that. So today I'm going to give you guys book recommendations on what I think are the best books that I have ever read that has gotten me out of a reading slump. Disclaimer, some of these books obviously not be your forte or genres you read, but if I could tell you anything, it'd be keep an open mind, because I didn't have any of these genres as my favorite until I read them, and they got me going. So just keep an open mind to the books I'm talking about. I don't know if I'm even allowed to say this on YouTube, but this book is called My Sister the Serial Killer by, I don't want to butcher that name, but this is such a good read because it's such a short book. It's like 200 pages at most. I finished it in an hour, and it's very much a comedy thriller, and it delves on the ideas of sister relationships and who you are as a person. Are we born a monster, or do things happen to us that make us a monster? I love the sisters' codependency in this book, because you realize going in, like, farther away in the book, that the sister's evil, but if I'm the protagonist, doesn't that make me evil too? Which was such an interesting read, and honestly, this was one of my first 5-star books of the year. So if you want to read something quick, funny, dramatic, codependent on family, I suggest you read this book. This is such a good one. Okay, hi. Sorry about that. My battery died and I went to go get dinner. So if you have ever read The 7 Husbands of Eve Hugo or Daisy Jones and the Six, this is another book by that author, Taylor Jenkins Reid. She is one of my favorite authors, and this is one of my favorite books of all time. Malibu Rising, it's about a group of siblings after their mother dies and their dad walks out on them. The older sister, Nina, is basically in charge of the family now, the matriarch of the family. And it's just, I love this book. Not really romance in this book. Like, romance isn't the main point. The main point is Nina's journey as well as her siblings' journey on having to grow up without, parents. And it goes from them being, it's very rags to riches story. I won't spoil what happens and stuff like that, but all these characters are very interesting. I think one of my favorite characters is Kit, because I instantly figured out what Kit's deal was, like, right away. I was like, oh, so I get it. Kit is my queen, love her. This is also supposed to be a Hulu show, and I'm surprised they haven't, like, gone in production or anything like that. Daisy Jones and the Six was pretty popular, but I mean, then again, 7 Husbands of Eve Hugo was supposed to be, like, in theaters like 5 years ago. But this is definitely one to read if you want to get out of a reading slump. These characters drive the story, and going between past and present, you want to keep knowing why these characters are who they are today. I don't really enjoy, like, the cowboy western romances until I picked up this book, okay? If you don't know what the Chestnut Springs series is by 𝗹𝗶_𝘀 yet, then I suggest you get reading, okay? Because I too was like, I'm not going to read this popular book talk book, but you know what? It gave me 𝗯𝗲𝗋. So thank you, TikTok, for making this popular so I could read this book. The series focuses on interconnected standalones with, like, brothers of the ranch or a friend of the ranch and all that. So in this book, this is the oldest brother's book, and he has a son, and he needs a babysitter to take care of his kid, and he hires his brother's fiance's best friend, and they hit it off. I love 𝗯𝗶₋₀ and they give that really well. If you want to get out of a reading slump, you should also read Heartless by 𝗹𝗶_𝘀. Not me, like, getting into the cowboys. I'm really into the cowboys, I guess. Okay. Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. I was iffy on reading this book until I realized it's like 350 pages, and it was such an easy book to read. It's brother's best friend, which We love Brother's Best Friend. She's a professional I don't know if she's a bull rider. No, professional horse rider or something. And her brother's best friend is just, they're along for the ride, and they have kind of this like butting heads kind of relationship in the beginning, but they get to, all the stuff like secret relationship, right? So they grew up together, but they grew up, not really liking each other, and then it's not until she comes back that they develop feelings for each other and go on this whole relationship of him trying to help her get back on the horse again, literally, because she came back because of an injury and she was just scared to ever do it again. So it was an easy book. It got me into the cowboy romances. I doubted the girlies on Book Talk, but they were there. Try out this book. It's Sinner's Playground by Carolyn Peckham and Suzanne Valenti. They are also the authors of Zodiac Academy and Kings of Quarantine. This is a reverse harem book, okay? So if people don't like reverse harem, sorry. But this series is one of my favorites because, well, it's very found family-esque. There's 4 boys, 1 girl. A girl comes back after years after thinking her friends betrayed her. One in the crew takes the girl for his own, and the other people in the crew I want a piece of her too. They're actually very respectful. They don't talk about pieces of her, actually. My favorite part of this book series is not so much the relationships romantically, but the found family relationships, and I love found family. One of them is on the outs and is in a rival gang, so it's good. It's like brother versus brother, and they're each going after the girl. It's so good. I'm terrible at explaining, I'm sorry, but there are 5 books in the series, and I will tell you the reason it got me out of a reading slump was because the character development in this series was insane. You are going to go from loving a character to hating a character to loving them again. Then you're going to go from hating a character, hating the character even worse, kind of mid, and then having that character be your favorite. And it's reverse harem. It's spicy. So if you're into that, it's like rival gang crew kind of vibes. I love it. So if you guys have any books that you think could get somebody out of a reading slump, let me know. Comment it down below, and have a good night.